And that's what we just saw, Grimar getting caught out in her own mind game. We kind of expected that though, Becky. You know, when you have the weapon advantage, it's going to be your round unless for some reason the attacking team seems to be cracked. But now this is where the party starts as we see the Blade Storm coming out from Island, and the rest of the squad for Dart Monkeys are going to have full rifles and shields.
Get out of my way!
I'm actually surprised that we're seeing a lot of Dart Monkeys still hang out towards this A site, considering the fault line that Sarah put out last round and put out again at this round. Like, that just seems like something that you don't really want to walk into, or at least want to like make sure to wait out. And it does look like they're choosing to do so, but this is still kind of an interesting decision to still dedicate towards this direction. But Island, just watching this angle, it seems like the attacking side trying to see if anyone from the defense is going to get a little frisky towards any of their side of the map, and it doesn't look like they will. Good on Light Up Sketchers to be playing this defense extremely slow and just wait for these attackers to come to them. So far so good as Dysphoric uses this Owl Drone, is not actually going to be able to find K, and K in the meantime picks up Island.
Yeah, it seems to be that is where they're gonna want to be headed, but unfortunately, I am having a little bit of technical difficulties. But here we are back again, I believe.
Slowly working on it, Kenny.
Seeing monsters at your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though. You don't have to play the hero. 'Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat.
All right,
Correct.
welcome back, folks. We took a little break. You know, internet sometimes does not work on our favor, but everything is nice and settled. Becky, we're back, round 5 here, as we are in an even match. And it looks like the defense from Light Up Sketchers is so composed.
Yeah, we kind of saw it exactly in that last round as well, before we got a little bit disconnected. The extremely well-played defensive pause that is happening from every single one of these members, and they just don't want to push up too much. Julia, finally, to throw a little bit of a wrench into that kind of game plan, starts to be really aggressive, does force a 2-for-2 trade, and now Dart Monkeys are saying, maybe we're not gonna go to that A site. Let's see if we can figure something else out. So holding all their pinkies and running across the map, looks like they're gonna decide to go towards this C site instead of continuing to commit towards A.
Like their trademark set C long, so their position is going to get alerted if that fault line or recombo don't already tell the story of what's happening onto the C site. But Omen is lurking about, and the rotation is already coming through for Light Up Sketchers as the bomb gets planted. We do have a flash from SK still available, as well as the Rolling Thunder after that plant. A blind coming out for Tupper. We're going to blind 2 folks onto site. Unfortunately, though, still has to worry about the long position, but it's going to be Dysphoric able to clean it up and make this the first lead for Dart Monkey.
big ups to Dysphoric, who was just kind of right place, right time. I mean, they all were in a good situation to like watch every single angle possible, but they also did a good job of not being in each other's way and being able to make sure that every trade was a 1-for-1 until it was just up to Dysphoric. And you love when you're able to trust your teammates enough to say, okay, if this is gonna happen, we're just gonna trade each other out. We have the bomb ticking down, we have that priority, and using it to the best of their advantage and really allowing for Dysphoric to just clutch that up at the very end in that 1v1 situation. So nicely done from Dark Monkeys, and a win in that round to show for it.
Now it's going to be a save round for the side of Light of Sketchers. The Blade Storm comes out from Julia to try to do something for their team, but the Hunter's Fury is going to hurt Jen onto site. Not quite enough to get the kill, but just enough to make it a hard position to be in. The Guiding Light comes out through, but not able to get onto site. There's 3 men onto this site, and I don't know if this is the greatest choice for Dark Monkey to push into, but they're still going to do it, Becky.
Oh, it's hard. You don't know that there are 3 members of Light Up Sketchers on that site. So as far as you know, you're just trying to get that bomb down. They try to get onto the site. They finally are able to, but a 2v2 situation, Dark Monkeys are at least going to try and keep members of Light Up Sketchers at bay with this lockdown. And ooh, did actually manage to detain K here. Tupperware was pretty far away, and now Tupperware is in an awkward situation too. While your teammate is detained, it's a lot harder to go in for any kind of fight, and it does result in a lot of time lost. Tries to jump over a lot of that utility and just is not able to. K kind of forced to push through that and is now at 5 HP. SK peeks around. Dark Monkeys take home another win. Nicely done by the final 2 remaining players of Dark Monkeys. All of that utility ended up mattering and actually making it so much easier for them to have that little bit of a fight against K and Tupperware.
Yeah, it was phenomenal hold as well. I love that Bunny B decided to bring out the lockdown after post plant. That gave enough time for SK to reposition over to that short and be able to use the fault line to hold off that CT retake. And then, you know, when you get those headshots, it was endgame for Dark Monkeys. They do have this lead, and they're going to continue to try to hold on to this lead as they go into this A site. But Julia says A site ain't where it's at. SK says, check this gun out, though.
Very nicely done. That was kind of awkward because it looked like Julia was able actually to see SK, but just not able to connect fast enough. So beautifully done there by SK for making that a 1-for-1 trade where that could have been disastrous for the attackers if they were down a member.
4v4 bomb, not quite sure where it wants to go here, Becky. They do have this mid side available, and it looks like it's going to be a B plant. They're going to hold off into garden, as we can see Omen lurking about, maybe trying to catch someone slipping on this rotation. But the Seekers coming out from Light Up Sketchers is going to help this retake.
Ooh, Seekers do give a lot of information about where the members of Dark Monkey are hanging out, and with that, Tupperware is able to make a very heads-up decision about where to place that dark cover, making sure that nobody is going to be able to see as this bomb gets defused by Sarah. And that's an interesting ultimate to throw out when the bomb has already been defused and the round lost. SK might regret using that there in future rounds.
That definitely an oopsie daisy, but we all have those moments. Comms might have been a little bit too muddy, and SK made a choice, and we shall see how that affects the later on events, as you mentioned, Becky. But coming on to this next round, Dark Monkey still has the lead. What can they continue to do to make sure that they continue to have this lead?
They really just need to make sure that when they're making a decision about their post-plant layout, that they're playing off of each other. They kind of all ended up playing post-plant in the exact same place in that last round, and that's eventually what really bit them there. And if they're able to play it like how they have in some of the other previous rounds, where they're positioned to take those 1v1s over and over, where they've had a lot of success, it will go a lot better, and Island just gets stuck in a really rough spot there. getting pummeled around by that breach utility, and that's just not where anyone wants to be. K picking out perfect moment there to take out Bunny B. Dysphoric knows that K is there, but K just right angle, right moment, finishes it up nicely, and Light Up Skechers are bringing themselves to an even 4-4 match.
Kay was so patient in that garage position and able to take down the bomb, which then made Dart Monkeys have to go back in there, grab it, and the angle was just held too perfectly over for Light Up Skechers. They are making this an even match, and the economy on their side is looking quite boosted. As we can see, they are able to potentially bring out an operator, but Julie's going to decide maybe if we wait one more round, the operator will be a little bit more pleasant. But instead, we're going to be playing this long angle a little aggressively.
Ooh, Faultline not able to catch up any of the players, and now Cloudburst is going to allow for a little bit of movement on the attacking side as well. Owl Drone making sure that all of this sewer side of A short is all clear. Does look like it is going to be the call to move towards that direction. Jen able to catch one out though, but some nice trades back and forth, thankfully, from SK there, making sure that this game remains as even as possible. And the lurk from Grimoire is actually going to catch Tupperware here. Oh, maybe not if you look away at the wrong time. They're so close to each other. Whew. Okay, Grimoire does actually turn back around and is able to pick off, you know, Omen Lurk, no Omen Lurk.
That was very awkward, and it's gonna be the breaches. It looks like clones are just coming about. The knife comes out, the jiggle peek now has to reposition. Sarah comes out on top, a blind coming out for Grimoire. Grimoire gonna get flashed twice because Breach manages to do that. But Island was deep lurking onto A site and able to catch that rotation, gonna get the bomb and go away from A site.
Yeah, nice decision to do this too, because you have to imagine that K is moving over towards that side of the map. So Island actually going to be given a lot of time by running towards the C site and being able to plant. Ooh, okay, just as I thought we were going to actually have a lot of time, I totally missed the fact that there's a trademark there, and getting that initial added bit of information early on before even hearing the bomb be planted is actually going to give K a lot of extra wiggle room towards going over towards the C site. Is still trying to play very slow, make sure not getting caught by any corners being held by Island. Thankfully, or not so thankfully, Island is on a complete different area code, but K is starting to have to make some hasty decisions here as this bomb is starting to tick just a little bit faster.
The peak Island, it seemed like it was kind of weird that she was kind of checking CT, but I mean, coming on to this next round, it is going to be important that a Light Up Skechers plays a little bit more defensively and doesn't over peak. I feel like that aggression that happened on A site caused them a lot.
Yeah, it's a rough situation, but I mean, you have to commend Light Up Skechers as well. They're doing a great job of just trying to get these early picks and then back off and be safe. Dart Monkeys are just doing a great job of trading out 1-for-1 every single time that Light Up Skechers are trying to get a leg up. Ooh, this might, as I mentioned, that be one situation where K actually able to rendezvous out immediately. So that is exactly what Light Up Skechers need to do if they want to bring themselves to yet another even point array here. Getting that early kill, especially onto Island, is absolutely huge for the defensive side.
Oh my goodness. Becky, my heart is pounding like there's no tomorrow. Julia holding that angle like a hawk. Has to reposition though because she was spotted by that Soba drone. Still going to be holding. Going to get the kill on Bunny B. Now looking for the second because if you peek once, you gotta peek twice. But that second shot does not quite make it onto anybody. The bomb now looking for another home.
Yeah, and this is a rough situation now because Dart Monkey's on 3 to 5 players of Light Up Skechers. That's just such a big deficit, especially when you're on the attacking side. You don't really have a lot of wiggle room, and every single one of these remaining Dart Monkey players are gonna have to go insane to get anything done. And with 30 seconds left, then still hanging out towards the C long, just waiting for this Phorix recon dart to come back up. they're kind of pigeonholing themselves into a very specific situation, and nobody is even watching a flank as Sarah is slowly moving towards that train of
10
thought.
seconds left.
Oh, Sarah says, I know that you were there once upon a time. Let me see what I can see at this moment as I lurk my way about. They're gonna hold on to weapons. SK, just like you said, holding down. And I feel like it's the battle of the clones, Becky. We have both SK and Sarah going for each other. Julian Island. I mean, it's almost a mirror matchup except for K and Bunny B.
Very true. I love that you pointed that out because I think that that is actually kind of a really important difference between these two team compositions, and it does mean that I think Dart Monkeys is going to have a little bit more potency on the defensive side. And I'm so excited actually to see Light Up Sketchers once they move onto the attacking side, because I just think that the Sky and Breach combination when played right is so insane.
You're not gonna have vision. We will, but they will not.
I know that every time I play against it, it's horrible, just as horrible as it is to get caught by that operator. Julie with the nice long-range shot, slowly peeking around, is able to find another. I thought we were looking at Island's leg, but I guess that's a headshot to Boo, and at least Bunny B is able to do a nice little trade out there before falling to Jen.
Ramar cleaning up town and now leaves it to a 1v1. It's going to be the chamber left to this party. Pakay was over onto A site. Talk about the perfect ultimate here to take us back to the A site. Now we see. Wait, there was a cancel.
Yeah, canceled. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, this is what you play Omen for. I love this actually, and is able to teleport to this cubby really safe. And now Kay just has to check absolutely everywhere because this Omen is just so slippery and can be anywhere.
If you are K, you have to check every nook and crevice onto this site, which is time consuming. You know, you have to think about how much time do I have to defuse? Where could they potentially be? Omen's gonna smoke the bomb, but the bomb is already too deep. Grimoire somehow gets the kill and manages to continue the lead for Dart Monkeys.
Last round before the switch.
I'm so impressed with Grimoire there actually. Going through all of this, we're gonna slowly watch this replay of the situation where Grimoire thankfully is able to clean up all of those kills. The fake out with the ultimate, that actual like one-way smoke on top of where the bomb was, when that bomb started to be defused, I was a little concerned. I was like, oh, we didn't plant for playing C long, but there was something to be said for making a plant that isn't for C long and then hiding on C long did mean that maybe that wasn't what Kay was expecting, and then being smoked off and in a situation where the head is covered by the person who's trying to defuse the bomb so that they can't see where you're peeking out from, actually beautifully played there for Grimoire on his own.
I've got them the round. The leading Rolling Thunder gonna get them onto the site, but it's Sarah who's lurking about, manages to pick off Island, and now once again, I feel like we've seen this time and time before, the bomb needs a new home, and they're just gonna take it across town.
Yeah. I mean, if Grimoire can do a fake out, why can't the rest of the team? I mean, we saw it last round. Maybe they'll be able to make it work this round as well. But, I mean, I have to commend Light Up Sketchers as well. They're doing a great job of not really moving until they have information. They're just playing reactively to everything that Dart Monkeys are doing, and they're not really giving themselves a ton of margin for error. And so far, it's worked pretty well for them as they're keeping up pretty good in points with Dart Monkeys. Oh, okay.
30 seconds left.
Trailblazer.
It's going to be the C push once again. They try to bait out the fake out, but it's still Jen onto site. The fault line accidentally hits Bunny B along with the Light Up Sketchers of the line coming out. But like you're saying, Becky, oh no,
left.
Indeed, as there's only 7 seconds onto the board. No longer an operator onto site. Now a 1v2 for Grimoire and unable to finish.
Yeah, that was just rough. The
Switching
Trailblazer,
sides.
I feel like it was so hard. At that point, once you're on C long and there's 30 seconds left, it's so hard to move to a different site because you just are gonna run out of time. And it was hard because you hear that Trailblazer come out from Jen, and so you know that that Skye is hanging out towards that site, and you have to imagine that you don't use Trailblazer unless you have somebody else beside you watching your body. So trying to go off of that assumption, they still just were forced to commit to C, knowing that there were likely 2 or even more players on that site. So kind of just an unfortunate ending there for Dart Monkeys, where they could have ended at a 7-5 half, but Light Up Sketchers were able to bring us to an even 6-6.
And this is where the fun starts. Becky, you asked for Light Up Sketchers on attack to see how blind Dart Monkeys are going to be, and now we finally get to see it as this mid push is super aggressive. One guiding light already following through. Bunny says you ain't going nowhere at this point.
Spike down mid.
Whoa. Okay, so far so good. So the thing that I was eager to see was going to be the mixture of the Skye and the Breach kind of working in tandem here, but Breach actually was going to use a fault line towards a short, so did not actually play with the team there, and as a result we are now in a 1v1 situation, and a nice peek there actually from Sarah takes out Bunny B. Very nicely done to start off Light Up Sketchers on their attacking side.
Guys, that Bunny Bee and I believe it was SK, the last 2 standing, didn't play a little bit more closely onto this B site. They were separated from the get-go and continued to be separated after they brought it down to just 1 team member of Light Up Sketchers. And unfortunately, Sarah, just like you mentioned, headshots are just built diff. I mean, even just looking at the score line right now, 21-8-2 for Sarah.
Sarah must just have no fear. Said, I would rather go for the headshot than ever plant the bomb. And I mean, if you're going to hit the headshots, it just works. And Sarah, with that scoreline, obviously showing that she has what it takes for sure, and is a big reason that Light Up Sketchers are in a situation where they're really keeping up with Dart Monkeys. In fact, it's kind of weird if you look at the score lines and the KDAs of all of these players compared to the actual round points. It's an interesting array. Dart Monkeys, like, each player has around 10 kills or just shy of 10 kills, but compared to Light Up Sketchers, where they have 2 players with 12, 1 person with 21, like, the KDAs are just all over the place, and if you looked at just KDAs, I feel like you wouldn't be able to tell exactly how close this game really is.
That's true. The gamble stack was over onto a site here, and now Dart Monkeys, with the weapon deficiency, have to retake onto C. Look like most of them were going to come from CT, but to opt to go this C long, where they will come into contact with Sarah, the headshotting machine, able to reposition them. But Sarah does take out Grimoire, and the aftershock taking out the clone, continuing to fight through his K, pushing on C long, and just like that, that's a flawless for Light Up Sketchers.
Yeah, it was a flawless where they had bigger guns, so something where you certainly would expect it as, yeah, Dart Monkeys did actually something interesting. I feel like when you're on that big save round, going in to the either second round or second round and a half, you normally see the defensive side get really aggressive, but Dart Monkeys kind of did the other default, which is just all stack one site and just hold angles and hope to, like, catch people by surprise as they come through a corner. They weren't quite able to make any really good action happen because Light Up Sketchers just went to a completely different site, kind of the bad gamble decision on a map that has 3 sites, but hopefully they're able to bring it back up going into these rounds as they'll have bigger guns.
They do, and they also decide to give up this site as they're going to wait for the rotation coming over from their teammates. You said it is a bonus buy for Light Up Sketchers, so they're going to have to really play this crossfires. We're going to start the party with this Omen Blind. Actually, scratch that. Making sure that they're not lurking about B site. It's going to be Grimoire. The flash coming through as well as the aftershock. It's going to be a peek from CT as bodies start flooding in through CT, but it's Sarah coming out on top with a 3K. Jula cleaning up Grimoire, the last man standing for Dart Monkeys, and that is a 3-point lead for Light Up Sketchers.
Yeah, absolutely huge. I'm always a little dubious of giving up that A site. It's definitely the hardest site on this map to run a retake onto, so it always makes me feel a little bit hesitant when we see defenders just immediately move off and not try to contest before the bomb goes down. I like the idea of trying to play S5 and just wait for your whole team to go for that aggression, but now that we're on this attacking side, we're seeing this kind of more attacking, slanted team composition that Light Up Skechers have, and we're seeing how they're making their decisions and able to just get onto a site, get the bomb down, and still have all 5 members. There's a reason that they've been able to pick up 3 rounds in a row.
Oh man, look, this Omen lurk up C long, gonna potentially check that upper box. Tupperware was able to checkmate Grimoire as well as K. Now this C push is going to happen as we have Soba onto the garage window having to back up now. They think they want to go C, but actually the bomb it's making its way over onto A site as Sarah lurks about waiting for this rotation.
Yeah, I mean, Light Up Skechers have the player advantage, so they're definitely able to let Sarah go for this lurk and able to, I mean, make sure that some more players go down as Kay is able to find one more kill. And now Sarah with those shots, that audio cue is gonna let Sarah know that, here we go, peek around this corner. Oh, the spray almost doesn't go Sarah's way, but I mean, wasn't getting hit by SK either, so almost ships in the night there, but thankfully the Vandal a little more reliable than a Sheriff at some spamming moments.
Sarah just summed up my whole rank career in one moment. And you know what, Sarah? Yes, I agree. It's a statement. We see it. We hear you. We shall never talk about it ever again. As finally, Becky, Light Up Skechers seems to be finding their stride with that last defense and now coming into attack. You said it. Their team composition is 1,000% towards this attack. Dart Monkey needs to find an answer right about now as they're getting rushed in garage.
Island actually able to pick up Sarah, Jen, and then Dysphoric cleaning up Julia as well. Finally poking a hole in the attacking strategy of Light Up Skechers. K and this Omen, the only 2 remaining, and not really characters with a lot of utility that are gonna allow for a strong post plant. K at least being able to pick up one's gotta feel, you know, cutting some amount of losses, but Island with a 3K and leaving it all up to Tupperware now. A rough situation to say the least for this final remaining Light Up Sketcher member.
Tupperware needs to find somewhere to call home. Maybe just looking for kills here because, as you stated, the plant 1v4 kind of sketchy unless, no pun intended by the way, unless
That's good though.
able to take those 1v1s. Gonna lurk for this Soba. Saw the shock ult, but Dysphoric with the crouch. It's always that crouch displacement. You know, crouching is such a controversial topic because people are like, should you crouch? Should you not? I think crouching is phenomenal. As you can see, Tupperware expected it for Dysphoric to be at headshot level, and Dysphoric was crouched, so therefore headshot level was debatable there, and Dysphoric was able to get that round for Dart Monkeys.
Nothing makes me more angry than when I peek around a corner, expect to get a kill, and they're crouching, and I'm like, otherwise that would have been a headshot. I'm so upset. Or nothing makes me more angry than when people are shooting me in the body and I crouch into them headshotting me. That happens a lot too, and it always feels bad. Dart Monkeys actually going for this time out here. They are 3 rounds behind, but they were just able to pick one up to start to close that gap. So I like being like, okay, we had a successful round just now. What made it successful? We were in a position where we were losing 4 in a row, and then all of a sudden we were able to pick one up. So dissecting exactly what just happened in that round that led to them being successful is very helpful. I like this timeout call a lot. And, you know, once Light Up Skechers, they're at double digits. They're not very far off of taking this one home. So Dart Monkeys kind of in a now or never situation. And again, I just looking at these KDAs, I feel like Light Up Skechers should this is like an endgame KDA spread from Light Up Skechers. So it is wild to me that Sarah still has time to get to 30 kills in this game.
Talk about having the right breakfast. I don't know what that breakfast was, but we need to find out. I want to know. Yeah, absolutely. The C site is going to be the push, and it's going to be a rush, actually, as Grimoire is now having to reposition. Not going to completely give up the site, but unfortunately gets blinded by Tupperware and taken out. But the bomb now planted. They do have a lurk. Look at this chamber lurk down mid, Becky.
Oh, I'm hoping that Kay is able to get some action off of it. Nice rolling thunder does catch Julie in that situation. That Jet maybe got to lose the fun because it's just making you a little too visible. And now, as you mentioned, Kay with that lurk, able to pick up one and is going for some, almost some fancy plays, but Island gets a little bit of a heads up notification and is like, oh, I gotta turn around, make sure that this doesn't happen, and SK will be good for the defuse. Also, that was 2 kills with some breach utility, which it always feels cool when you kill people with your utility.
Absolutely. I think Aftershock and then Paint Shells are like evenly matched.
Yep.
When you get a kill with those two, you're like, yeah, fresh, clean, awesome.
I'm the best. Okay.
I'm gonna get that tatted on me, by the way. I'm the best. That was so smooth. One thing I want to talk about, and you mentioned this, what was it that allowed for Dart Monkeys to be successful and get these 2 rounds on their belt? And I think it has to be the fact that Island seems to have woken up once again.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta just make sure that your duelists are always on it. And we've been seeing Island in these last few rounds also just be in more unpredictable places. And it's been something that they've had a lot of success with. And once again, Island is in a completely different place on the map going into this round. And while it's not gonna find immediate success just yet, is still something worth mentioning. Nicely done there by Dysphoric, able to pick up 1 kill there, but I love this heads up from the attacking side of Light Up Sketchers as well. There's a lot happening, kills back and forth, but it's because Light Up Sketchers doesn't want Dart Monkeys to have a moment to reconvene. They knew that Island had to be really far, somebody had to be towards that A site, and just going and hunting down members of the defensive side is such a heads up play. Bunny Bee is going, at least tapping on that defuse, but Kay, just beautiful shining crosshair placement. 3 kills and bringing Light Up Sketchers to 11 points. Okay, I know I just said it, but I have to say it a little bit cleaner to reinforce it. C, I mentioned, I think A, horrible site to try to retake is 5. If you're in a 5v5 situation, A is just so difficult to retake. All of the places where you have to funnel in from the defensive side are really rough, especially if you don't have a flank. C site, a lot easier to retake for the defending side. So I love the Light Up Sketchers being like, we're not even gonna let you set up to try to retake, we're just gonna plant the bomb and come after you. And it did result in kind of a bloodbath, a lot of back and forth situations, but it's better to get that than the defensive side getting to wait for Island to just show up and join. And it does, in fact, end up going their way. Island is gonna be able to pick up that kill onto Kay and rewarded for that patience.
That was so slow motion. I felt like time froze for a second. But yes, like you stated, Island able to pick it up and already giving a man advantage over to Dart Monkeys. I feel like there needs to be a reminder for Dart Monkeys that there's always going to be someone lurking about their backs. Their last round, they were caught up by Kay once again lurking through mid and taking that rotation over to attack or defender spawn there. So I feel like they need to double think about that. Once again, though, we're gonna see that teleport fake out. I believe it was a teleport fake out. Once again happening from Light Up Sketchers, and now they're gonna be hitting this A site, and they're gonna hit it pretty hard as the Hell teleport comes through.
Oh no! Omen. Okay, yeah, okay. Oh my gosh. So that's a situation that Omens will do a lot. They'll use the dark cover and then teleport into the dark cover with the From the Shadows. And so every single time, especially if you're Island, somebody's sitting in that dark cover, you have to be like, okay, is the Omen coming here? Is it coming somewhere else? And nicely went for a situation where Island could check and picking up a kill with the shorty. Sarah though, right place, right time. Nobody looking at that dark cover that was just clearing, and Sarah bringing Light Up Sketchers to match point, and I believe, yeah, broke 30 kills, and it's 31 and 12. Wow.
Yeah, Sarah. So I think we need to find out everything about Sarah. Actually, I would like to find out a lot of things about Light Up Sketchers. Because they're a brand new team, and we don't really have a lot of information on them. So I think we just need to have a research day where we talk to them, hang out with them, and see what goes on in their heads.
Yeah, we'll invite them to the 626 night market.
Absolutely.
Island now, Bladestorm out, and just kind of roaming through this mid, trying to see Violent can catch anyone out. Does find a kill onto K there, but not anymore. Sarah nicely able to trade out there and preparing the rest of the team for this push onto site. Julia also catching Dysphoric in an unfortunate circumstance.
And now it's just to scratch that, make that one Grimoire trying to make a dream stay alive. By the way, folks, this was the map choice by Light Up Sketchers, which, kind of makes sense as Sarah puts the nail in the coffin, and it's Light Up Sketchers taking this first map.
I mean, you just said it, so I think that there's a lot to be said. I mean, down to agent select and the agents that were brought into this game alongside it being Light Up Sketchers map pick. You can tell that they came prepared for that team composition to play together and with a plan, especially for that attacking side, and it showed. It was an even game up until that half when Light Up Sketchers started on the defensive side, changed to that attacking side, and it just felt like there was no wiggle room for Dart Monkeys. So beautifully played. I loved having those strategies and being able to execute upon them. And I know that Light Up Sketchers, if you come with a plan for the attacking side and you start out on defense, if you get that like even half or even start like even slightly up in a half, you're like, everything feels good. We had even, we have a strong plan for attack, and they were able to just smoothly take that one home. And Sarah, an absolute beast with 30 plus kills. I mean, Kay also amazing, had like 20 plus kills. So just absolute menaces all across the board for Light Up Sketchers. And I'm very excited to see how things could possibly change up once we get on to Dart Monkey's map picks.
Which is actually going to be Breeze. But before that, we're going to take a Breeze break to relax, take a breath, drink some water, and we shall be right back with map number 2.